spring, many of the militia units had to get back home and actually get their crops in, or their families themselves would starve. So they started to wander off a little bit here and there as well, and once it became apparent that the siege was not producing the effects that the British had hoped for, they just simply on May 9th started tearing everything down and putting aboard their ships going back up the Maumee and headed back up to Malden. And things were fairly quiet here again until about the end of July. The Indians themselves wanted to try again to take this fort and destroy it. Most of the British cannons at Fort Malden had already been removed and put on Commander Barclay's ships on Lake Erie because they were expecting a battle with Perry and his men. So many of the cannons had already gone onto the ships of the British, and the British didn't feel that they could actually properly take this fort, but the Indians themselves had devised their own plan and said, if you would just help us some, we can probably destroy Fort Meigs. And their intention was to come down here and have what we call today a sham battle or a mock battle. The Indians and everybody knew that the fort was expecting reinforcements, and they knew where those reinforcements were coming from. So they came down in late July, and about 300 yards south of us was where the tree line was. And the men inside the fort were expecting reinforcements the following days, and the Indians decided what they were going to do is act as if the column of reinforcements had arrived and they were going to have a battle out there in the fort, in the woods. And on the day that started, there was a large scream where the Indians took on the battle, and they acted as if there was a scream